After the fallout from the damning report into the state of English cricket, the independent report found racism, sexism, classism, elitism widespread in the game. Let's get more on this now. Delighted to say we can speak to the Sporting Equals Chief Executive, Arun Kang. Thanks so much for joining us. It was a pretty damning report, wasn't it? What did you make of the findings?
Well, yeah, it was damning. It wasn't surprising for an organisation like ours, a race equality organisation who's been working in the field for many years. I think just thinking about the decline of black cricketers of 75% over 30 years is frustrating and disappointing to see that. You do wonder whether the people in charge were sleepwalking for 30 years, that they didn't notice that. 5.6% in leadership positions of South Asians and ethnically diverse communities, which make up 1/3 of the adult cricket. How can that be? And that's a recipe for disaster. You just don't have enough decision makers from these communities coming through. So those types of findings were not surprising, but many organisations have been talking to ECB over many years about representation of black cricketers, of leadership positions. It's a shame that hadn't been done. So it wasn't a surprise, but I have to thank ECB for actually coming forward and being open and transparent and having this report in the first place, and also thank the commissioners for doing an excellent job, and I thought the report was fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic, but frightening at the same time. If we look at even deeper into the stats, 87% of people from Pakistani or Bangladeshi heritage, 82% of Indian heritage in the survey experienced discrimination. They're staggering numbers, but I've got the impression from what you said that this sadly doesn't surprise you.
No, it doesn't surprise us. Sporting Equals set up something called the Racial Discrimination Support Service, which is an independent pro bono legal advice and support service. And many people, including cricketers, have come to us about these types of issues, the overt racism as well as the covert racism that takes place in the game. So not surprising for Sporting Equals. The percentage numbers was even more difficult to read when you're looking at 85, 87%.
If we think back as well, Azim Rafiq went to Yorkshire with his concerns of racism in 2017. Yet it's taken some time to get a report like this. Is there a sense that we shouldn't have had to wait this long?
I agree, we shouldn't have had to wait this long. The problem with the sports sector a lot of the times is they're not open and transparent. They are worried about reputational risk, commercial risk around these agendas, in my opinion. And so therefore, there's as much cover-up that can be. So that's what I think slowed it down. I'm pleased it's come out now, but it shouldn't have to take a victim of racial discrimination like Azim to kickstart all of this. Organisations should already be picking these up, tackling the issues from inside.
Well, the Commissioner has made 44 recommendations, one of those being an overhaul of the governance of the game. What changes would you like to see?
I would like to have seen targets, to be honest. I think there's so much to do, and this could take a long time. There's going to the respect of communities of the game for the game is completely shattered, and for us to get anywhere near where we need to be with cricket, I think targets would have been really key for this, to really fast track some of that work, especially when you think about the black cricketers and you think about leadership positions right across. I would have liked for them to have explored targets from senior coaches to senior leadership teams, even officials, etc. Board representation, all of that is very key. And I think targets would have been a big one. I also think more around the culture of cricket needs to be looked into, in more internal communication. The problem isn't the communities themselves. Like we said earlier, 1/3 of adult cricket is by ethnically diverse communities. The bigger problem we have is the culture within these organisations we need to bring the workforce, which is already there, with us. If they don't come with us, then there's still going to be barriers and challenges facing these communities, because the people who are there are going to say, well, what's in it for me? And we've got to bring them along with us. So internal comms, I would like to have seen a lot more of, and also more around collaboration. Collaboration with those community, ethnically diverse community organisations, sports clubs, cricket clubs, they're all there. They're very passionate about sport, and I just feel that that needs to come out a little bit more for me as a recommendation, because that's your expert resource for cricket. It can't be that cricket does some action plan and there's, here you go, community, this is what we've done. We spoke to you once or twice, a bit of focus group here, a bit of focus group there. It's just not enough. Those communities are the expert resource for cricket. Bring them in at the beginning, see it as a collaboration, let them find the solutions for you. And I think that's another recommendation I would have thought about.
Okay, wonderful to hear from you, Arun Kang. Thank you very much indeed.